thought we'll take a look at a little bit of the dinim of Hilchos Ribbis. In the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, it's Hilchos Ribbis v'Hilchos Iska. Ma'oid, tzarich lizaher be'isa Ribbis. Person should be very careful with the Issa of Ribbis. Vein mal v'la'ani, vein mal v'la'ashir. Whether you are lending to ani or even to an ashir. Don't think, oh, because he's an usher and he could pay, so it's not a big deal if there's ribbis. The answer is no. There is the issur ribbis even when it's an usher. Shekama lavim v'azharis hizir akosov afilu al haloiva. The Torah mentions many times, many lavim, even for the loiva, the borrower, to be part of it. You know, when it comes to a person could say, I'll let you steal my stuff. Can allow you. He said, you can damage my stuff. It's okay. You're allowed to do it. He wants to damage his stuff. He can damage his stuff. And he can let people damage his stuff. But by Ribbis, it doesn't work that way. Ribbis, you're not allowed to. Ribbis, ipechoimer ha'ovin, hizir gam haloiva, shenemar le'sasha v'chicha, keloimer loy sidin neshech le'achicha. Don't give neshech to your brother. I mean, don't give ribbis to your brother. Meaning it's a warning to the loiva. Neshech kesef, neshech oichel, neshech kol davar shishach, anything. I feel eitzim avanim, even giving him a bundle of stones or wood for the loan is an issue of ribbis. Bein sharibis min amalve, bein shidavacher. Whether he lent you one thing, and the ribbis that you gave him for lending you is something else. It's a different min, a different type. Afilu ein ba shava pruta. A big chiddush. Even though it's not even worth a pruta, it's such an insignificant amount. It's issur ribbis. Sibbeis. Kol hamal b'ribbis. Ki'ilu Oifer Belekei Yisrael Obiyitzias Mitzrayim Ve'ini Kom B'tchias HaMesim Ve'af Be'olam Hazeh. Not only Tchias HaMesim, but he's punished even in Olam Hazeh Nechosav Mismoitetin Be'kolif. His possessions were less and less.
Such a tough punishment. Wow.
Now, means like this. Really, ribbis is a very normal thing. The world runs around interest, right? We have our president of the United States who's fighting now with the Federal Reserve chairman about the interest rates. So the interest is very normal, and it's common for commerce to...
It's basically another version of we're buying and selling at a at a higher price than you bought. Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Human nature, it says.
Well, Christian thing, not bad.
So this is very normal. The fact that the Torah says that you're not allowed to take ribbis is a chiddush. This is the chiddush. It's a chiddush because logically, if the borrower wants to do it, and he wants the loan, and he's ready to pay more to get the loan, he's meichel on his money. What's the issue? Just like by gzeila or nezek, if he wants to allow, he tells someone here, you want to try to see how strong you can punch? Here, punch my walls. I let you make some holes in my walls. He's damaging him. Is he allowed to do it? He's allowed to do it. He's allowed to allow someone to do it, and the person's nothing wrong. But in this case, even if the loiva allows the malvi, he says, "Here, I'm willing to pay for it." The Torah says you're not allowed. So that's what's very unique about Ribbis. Mechila doesn't help. It doesn't help you moichel the money. The Eibishter doesn't let you do it. You don't have the control when the Eibishter tells you you're not allowed to do it. You can't decide that that you could do it. It's not up to you to say, I'm willing to forego and let you keep the money. Do this.
What's ribbit? I'm borrowing someone. I said, listen, I'll take 10% from you. You give me more 10%?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you want to keep your money by you. Interest.
Like a credit card.
You want to keep your money by you. I want your money. I'm willing to pay for it. Like a credit card, exactly like a credit card. Say that I am, that I want to borrow money from you, and I have to pay an interest for it. A certain time, a certain date, we have to pay interest. So this is the idea of Ribbis. I want to point out something interesting, that there was a big Rosh Yeshiva in Eretz Yisrael. There was a Rosh Yeshiva already in Europe, the Bchatzkel Abramsky. The Bchatzkel Abramsky, he pointed out that the dinim of Hilchos Ribbis are found in which section of the Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch has Eirech Chaim, which is where we have the halachas of every day, davening, Shabbos, Yom Tov, and then we have Yeridea, which talks of things which are asur, the dinim of Shechita, Treifis, Basar V'chalav, Nida, anything which is asur. Then we have Eben Ezer, talks about things that have to do with marriage, divorce, anything to do with the marriages. Yuchsin, Yichus. The fourth chelik is Choshen Mishpat, which deals with all the financial issues. You'd think that the halachas of Ribbis will be placed in the Choshen Mishpat. It's like financial transactions. So the last chelik of Shulchan Aruch is full of simanim, all dealing with monetary issues between when we do business transactions, how we have to behave and what we have to do, and so seemingly Ribbis should be there also. However, the halachas of Ribbis are in Yeridea, the dinim of Isser, like Basar V'chalav and Shatnez, it's all there. The Ribbis is over there. Why? Because he says, Choshen Mishpat has been Adam L'Chaveirei. You two are having a dispute, you're having an issue, so Choshen Mishpat is the financial issues. However, Yeridea is ben Adam Lamakim. Basar V'chalav, Treifis, Milchas Nida, Shatnez. These are dinim which are ben Adam Lamakim. Ribbis is over there. It's an Isser. It's not Mamayna. It's Isura, not Mamayna. Meaning, because even if a person's Meichel on it, the Leiv is Meichel, he wants to do it. He says, I'm happy, I'm ready to do it. No, you're not allowed to do it. It means there's something beyond this money. It's not your money that you could be Meichel on. The Eivish says, the Eivish is not allowed to do it. Lives.
עד כדי כך, בפתק ריבית, כופר באלוהי ישראל. This is unbelievable. You read this? What?
Very strong.
Right, I know.
We have to be very careful. Siv Gimel.
Be careful.
I hope. If not, they're a shoygig, so maybe it's not the same level. Maybe this is only by a mazit. I don't think you're going to say by someone who did something to shoygig, you didn't realize that he goes into the status. It's probably only by mazit.
The credit card we can pay because it's a goy or what?
Yeah. That's right. In Eretz Yisrael, it can become a bigger issue in Eretz Yisrael. The banks are owned by Yidden.
Mortgages, this is bad anything.
Right? The bank, the credit card companies. So in Eretz Yisrael,
Home loans, equity loans. Yeah,
I don't know what goes on in Eretz Yisrael. They have their own credit card companies. Maybe they do. or they're using credit card companies that are internationally recognized. I don't know, but the banks for sure have an issue. There's a problem there when the banks want to give or take interest. They give you interest in your bank account, right? You keep money in your savings account, you earn interest. It's a problem. You lend them money. And then when you want to go borrow money for them, you want to do a mortgage, you want to pay for your car, whatever it might be, you take out money and take a loan to make a wedding, and you have to pay interest on that. It's a problem. So there is a way out, heter iska, a special contract that is made, which maybe we'll learn about it. So in Eretz Yisrael, they make sure to do it.
How about going
People are
here?
careful on that, and
The banks here not true.
I think I saw some article over here maybe once, maybe by the OU or someone that over here there was maybe like a certain bank that was Jewishly owned, and they made sure to make a heter iska with them.
It's not Jewish owned. Most banks is not Jewish.
Not a problem. You're allowed to do
One
this.
there.
Would they go?
No, that's the principle that you give your chayiv. It's also chayivis, but you give your chayiv to Bezin that shouldn't be Heter iska is that you make that he becomes a partner with you. The Malva becomes a partner, shutif with you in the business. When he earns the money, he earns it as a shutif, not for the loan. So it's a different. You set it up differently. Siv Gimel. Also, this asik be malva ben loiva or malva ben Ribbis. Not only the loiva and the malva themselves is an isser, you're not allowed to go in between them.
The middleman.
Middleman. Chomi shahaya sarsur beinehem. Oishasiyas echad mehem. Or one of them he helped. Oy hayrohu mokim lilves oy lahalves. Or he struck it and told him over there you could borrow with Ribbis. Over there you could lend with Ribbis. Hareza oyer mishum lifne iver leisitin michshol. Im lehoya iser nasa belada. Because the issue of lifne iver leisitin michshol is only when they need you. They need your help. But if they would have done it on their own without you, they would have got it done without your letting them know there's the malva, the loiv, or whatever it might have been, bringing them together, then it's you're not over on the fnei iver. However, it would be aser v'derabana, not midiraisa. Shemachzik yidei oivre aveda. Now, this issue over here in Sif Gimel, there's either an issue min ha-Torah of the fnei iver, or there's an issur midrabanan of mechazik yidei aveda. This is not isurim that specifically have to do with ribbis. In the entire Torah, anytime you help someone do an aveda, you aid him, and he couldn't have done it without you. It's called lifnei iver. This is mishal. You put a stumbling block in front of a blind person, and the blind person trips because of you. And if they would have done it anyways without you, it's a midrabanan that you're giving chizuk to yidei aveda. But it's nothing to do specifically with ribbis. However, mi shenasa eid beinayim ay arev v'chein hasofer, someone who wasn't just a saris in between. He was actually an aid on the contract, or he was a guarantor for the loan, or was a sofer, the one who wrote the contract, the lawyer. Oiver belois shalteides, oiver aloisasa. Simun olav neshech. Afilu hoya malvehu b'ladam. This din, unlike lifnei iver, even if they would have done it without you, but if you are one of these individuals here, you're the aid, the arab, or the cipher, you are over min hatoyer and aloisasav lifnei of leisimel neshech.
Wow, so she didn't.
Cipher meaning even a secretary cannot work.
Oh, lawyer.
Somebody who the contract.
Yeah, it's a contract. Yeah, I'm just saying a lawyer because usually you do transactions with a lawyer, but yeah, anyone who might be.
Yeah.
What happens if I'm going to guarantee the loan, but I'm not guaranteeing the interest? I guarantee to the lender that the borrower, if he doesn't pay back, I'll pay back the loan.
Guarantor.
But I'm not. I'll be a guarantor or Ariv, but I'm not going to guarantee that he's going to pay back the interest in the loan. So this way, the Ariv divorced himself from the Ribbis part. So to attack it in such a case, once if you do that, your isser, the prohibition of you being involved is no longer Ribbis specifically. It's
specifically
separated.
separating yourself from that.
So your problem is going to be a different. It's going to go back to the original issue we learned about in the previous of lifnei evil. It's a mixture. You're helping someone do an aveira, but not specifically with the ribbis aspect of it. I'm aiding the facilitating it. Now, like we said earlier in Siv Gimel, the Isser Leifnei Evil is a Mitchell is only when the person wouldn't have done it without you. So in this case, if the guy wouldn't have been able to find another guarantor, and you were the one that made this loan happen, so you basically made this ribbis transaction occur, that Veda occur, so you're able to favor. But if you would have been able to do it without a guarantor or find someone else, so then you're not over lifnei iver minat, no ism minat Torah, but there is that ism d'Rabbanan. I be mechazik idei iver aveir midrabbanan. This is what Alter Rebbe adds in the parentheses over here in Sif Gimel. Nafilu einei orev ela ba'ad hakerim ba'ad. Im loy hoyim alvehu ba'adei. If he would not have lent him without your help, oyim shum lifnei iver. If indeed he would have anyways lent him the money without you guaranteeing the loan, also the Seifim, like we explained, it's an imachazik aveda. But it's not an issue, an isser associated specifically with ribbis. It's a general isser imachazik aveda. Now, what is ribbis? Sivdal. Kololei shel ribbis hu kol shenoitel mechavere ez eschar be'ad hamtonas hachoiv. Anytime you take some money in order to delay the payment, shu chayiv loy, that's ribbis. If you took money, extra money, just for waiting, that I had to wait for my debt to be paid back. You want more time, pay a percent, pay extra time. I can't use my money now. You have my money. You have to pay extra. You want to pay, you want it, I want it now. You want to take it, pay extra for it. Hamtanas achoiv. That's a problem of ribbis. We're only in a case shaloyai de mekach a memker. We're going to learn in Mitzvah. This is when it's in a loan manner. Something is done in a manner of mekach or memker has a different status to it. It's a business transaction. Though in certain cases it could be permitted, if it's done as a sale, that I'm not paying you back right away for the item. I'll pay you back more. That I could pay you later for the item. We'll learn about that. But that's a sale. Here we're talking about it's purely a loan, has a ribbis shel Torah. Now, afile pasuk v'shas halva. Even if he did not make up ribbis with him, any interest with him when he gave him the loan. He gave him a loan, he gave him a loan. No strings attached. Afterwards, he came and said, hey, time's up. Where's my money? He said to him, he wanted more time. And he gives him extra money now to add time. I need another 30 days. Here, I'll pay you extra. Instead of paying you back the 1,000, I'll pay you 1,050 because I want it for an extra month. So even though at the start of the loan, the ribbis wasn't made up. But when this man came, he was tevei him, and now he's adding extra time. He's paying for the extra time. That's also ribbis shel Torah. Sorry. V'nois and v'harchiv le'azman. Let's say someone owes you money, had nothing to do with the loan. They owe you money for other reasons, because they took something from you or they damaged something. They owe you money not because of a loan. And the person has to pay up at a certain time. And now they want to hold on to the money more. They want to delay that payment. Give me another month or two. And I'll give you extra for that month or two. Now you're getting into Ribbis shel Torah. The point what we're bringing over here is that not, even if it didn't start off as a loan, if now it's sort of reverted to being a loan, the problem is
You have to write star every time you give limit.
yeah. If you're gonna do it, yeah.
I had a story, what Manita said, about maybe more than 30 years ago. A guy come to me and said he's opening a business and needs $5,000. I have money. He said in a month I'll pay you back. I didn't write anything. I know the guy. Give him $5,000. In a month time, I see him cross the street, he moved away. So, then I see him, I move away. Doesn't have money, it's kaput. He disappeared for about 15 years. I didn't see him. I see him 15 years after on the trend, the F trend. I was working by Mendy's. He see me, hi, how are you? Can you come to me tomorrow night to my house? When he live in Boropash, 20 houses. I went to the dinner. He said, listen, I admire you. You saw me in my eyes a few times and you moved. Like, I don't have the money. I cannot give you. So you're like, forget about it. Give me $25,000 cash. That's not enough. I don't know if it was Ribbis or not. I don't know. But it was good because that week I met 3 Sheva Brachot in my house. I met it at the weddings. I didn't know from where. I wore the best of the best. Mamash ish Sheva Brachot.
Ribbis shel Torah, definitely not Ribbis shel Torah, because it was after the
I
fact.
didn't have a
After the fact. No, it wasn't Ribbis min Torah for sure not, because it wasn't made up.
Right. It was a sudden thing.
It was something he gave after the
situation.
Rabbi, I remember I learned that if somebody buys a house in his father's name, because his father has the credit, and he pays the bank the interest, his father is over on the interest.
If he pays his son's interest up.
His father, he uses his father's name because his father has credit, buys a house. He has to pay the bank. Now, the bank, it's on his father's name. Him and his father have to make some kind of a contract that he's renting it from his father. Otherwise, his father is over on interest because he's paying for the bank, and it's really his father's. You understand what I'm talking about?
I have to think about that.
I learned that. I remember learning it.
I hear you saying.
But it's not really. If he took the bank on his name, it was not much. He took on his father's name. So his father is involved.
You're saying his father's involved. But he, so it's like he was paying Ribbis his father.
He pays the bank the interest also, but it's in his father. So it's really actually his father is getting the interest.
Right, I hear you.
Okay, so what they learned is that father should make a contract to him like a rental contract that he's renting that place from his father. This is not over on interest.
I hear.
Here, the guy was poisoning and gave a present. That's been destroyed.
Sasson like who gave up on it, was Miyayish on it. But the other
What's my Irish after a few minutes?
So now does the other person, did he know that did that guy know you were Miyayish on it?
Does he have to do anything? I'm shying. No.
No. Once you give it, you don't have to return it. No, even unless it's a shemaim, you don't have to return it.
You have to
Shazal has chila to accept it. That's the shayim. Once you take it, you don't have to give back.
If he wasn't going to do anything now because he didn't know.
Let's read. Let's learn. Let's learn.
Talking about his case.
Yeah, let's learn.
After we finish the sugya, we'll see if we have the answer.
Look at the next words. Look at the readers. Siv Dalet. We're the ending, towards the ending of Dalet, V'im. If he was getting extra money through a transaction of business, we'll have to see what that means. In that case, hareza avak ribis, v'asim midivrei sefer, asim midirabah. Now, if something is only avak ribis is the term that we use to describe ribis midirabbanan. Ribis midirabbanan is called avak ribis. V'im over a tav notel avak ribis. Someone made a mistake, and he took avak ribis. It was only asim midirabbanan. Sarich lahachziroi im va lotzes l'dei shemayim. In such a case, over here he says, if it's avak ribis, you have to return it only lotzes l'dei shemayim, meaning mitzad hadin, you don't have to return it because it's only avak ribis. It's not real ribis.
Is that his case?
Actually, later on he's going to discuss it. Let's see. Let's finish. Let's do the next sif.
He says
Next sif.
It says in the bottom of the notes that Avabulus Ekan Aplosis Vishman Right.
Which one? On the one.
On the flow. To the prejudice, Avabulus Ekan Aplosis Vishman Elechan.
Here, let's see sif hey. B'chol Ribbis. This is the only one he's not moichel. Let's see. 1 minute. B'chol Ribbis afil shel. That's a case where you took the Ribbis. You took the Ribbis. Where the malva took the Ribbis. What happens if the malva is moichel on the Ribbis? If he's moichel on the Ribbis, what's the difference? We didn't discuss that yet. Over here in this case, he did Ribbis with the Rabbanon. But it never says here that the malva, the loiva was moichel to the malva.
That's what
He was moichel to. Right. I'm saying, what happens if he's moichel to him? The whole Ribbis, sifhei, afilu shel divrayim, ein matana umechilo me'eles ba lahatira, shafilu oimer haloiva, ani noisna b'matana, also lazel litin, v'lazel lakabel.
Wow.
The loiva can't give, and the malva is not allowed to take, even though it's midrabanan. You can't say that we're moichel. Why? Shekol ribbis sheba'olam mechila matani. The whole concept of ribbis is mechila, and the Torah said it's awesome. That's soichrim. But oivdei adama shetzrichim tader lilves. Business people that work the land, they always need to borrow money. Loisin haribis matana gemura b'leiv shalom kishin sutamit. They give it the mechila. The problem is that the Torah wasn't meichel. Every ribbis in the world is a mechila. No one forces you into a ribbis transaction. You want to do it, so it's a mechila. And after it became the Torah said you're not allowed to do it. So mechila is not going to help over here. Torah le machol va'asa mechila matana zu. This mechilas matana. V'chein chachamim asru in the Ribbis shel Divei. The chachamim said you're not allowed to be moichel in their forms of ribbis, which they answer midrabanan. Chachamim made different gezeiris in ribbis. In their ribbis too, they said mechila doesn't help. Furthermore, what happens if you give the loiva gives to the malva ribbis, but he gives in a manner matana manaslas, the gift, but you have to return it back to me. To give it back to me at a later point. So he's going to get it back to loiva. But right now it's a matana. He's giving it to him. That's also a problem. Now let's look at the last words here. Mikol mokim in kvar notol ribbis.
This case,
May elis mechila.
guys, he's gonna give him $25,000.
Afilu b'ribbis shel Torah. Shein tzarech lachzira afilat zishamayim. Everything he said in Siv Dalit was when there was no mechila. In Sif Dalit we said if someone made a mistake,
Except who has to be Michael in this case? Not sure.
the loiva. I'm sorry, the malva has to. The loiva has to be Michael. He was Michael. The loiva was Michael.
By virtue of the fact that he's giving the money.
Yeah, well here it's even different. It wasn't the halal.
It
wasn't the halal, but yeah, it wasn't an up.
Was it even up?
Yeah, so that we're going to sort of learn later. This is a
So it's even easier.
these are like Maris Ayin issues.
So it's even easier.
Yeah, these are Maris Ayin
Even
issues.
Klapper Shemaim is part of this.
Over here also Klapi Shemayim.
It's expected.
Even here, but over here, what happened in this case is something which we didn't learn about. It's going to mean Zion. Zion is called Ribbis. Stephen. Hi, Stephen. How do you?
Stephen, please mute your mic. Stephen,
I just realized. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
So, we're learning. We didn't hear this case yet. Until now, we're talking about cases where he made it up. But the way it was done was in a matter what could be was only the Rabbanim. But if La'achar HaMaisa, he's moichel on it, the loiv is moichel to the malva, they realized that it was a mistake. Either avar, it was the mazin, or a ta mistake. Now they realize it, and the loiv says to him, I know I'm moichel.
Know your situation.
If you moichel it, it helps. The late akzeh, even b'nibus shel Torah it helps. Only if you did it already. You're not allowed to l'chatchila do the mechila. You're not allowed to tell him that I'm moichel you. Meaning, it's l'achri you were moichel him, and he took the money, and now you realize maybe I shouldn't have done that. Once you took it already, we say that the mechila helps. Chatchila, we tell you, mechila doesn't work. But once you have it by you,
You don't have to undo it once it's done.
once it's done. And he says even it's Ribbis shel Torah, even it's min haTorah.
It's just that if you're on this case, in case of a knockers.
Look in the ending of Sepay. Afilu b'Ribbis shel Torah ein tzalach zira. Afilu latzidei shemayim. Even a shemayim is no limit.
I was Mechil when he gives the money without protesting him.
Mechila means that he said,
He didn't say anything. He gave me $25,000.
let's say,
Itself is the Mechil.
no, he not necessarily that he gave it to him was a mechila because maybe he didn't really want to. But if he told him, I'm moichel you, he didn't force him to give it to him. He said it's okay, you can take it. He said, yeah, I realize it was we shouldn't have done this, but Lamaisa, you could take it. He knows that Al Torah he doesn't have to give.
No. In this case, no.
This case is this case is a different case. We didn't learn about it. This case is a case where it was only it was mamish no shaykhis to the transaction. It was later on. This is a hakaka of Maris Ayin afterwards.
It's even easier than what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. And here the din is that it helps Mechila.
Yourself on.
No, once you have the money, you have the money.
You'll have to go find it.
Once you have the money, you have the money.
I know. I do.
By the way, let's learn another halakha. Let's learn another halakha. Yesh vav. Yesh ribbis b'melacha. There could be ribbis by doing labor. You're going leimer lachavere. Asay imi melacha kala. You do for me now this light job over here. You know, it's very pressing for me to do this job. I'll do for you back something even a much harder job. V'ni esimcha malacha kveda mizu. This can happen very often. We don't realize.
If you help me for an hour today, I'll help you next week for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, say imi yom kotzer. It's a short day today. Do work for me, and I need work today. And mani esim chayim arachimenu. I'll give you a longer day, a summer day. You give me a winter day, I'll give you a summer day of work back. V'chein asa loymar halveni mana al chodesh. And the albacha mana al yosem chodesh. A ribbis alone, alone to alone. Lend me a mana for this month, and I'll lend you. Well, I'll have more money. I'll lend you even more than a mana. You can come always to me, and I'll lend you for. You lend me $100 this month. I'll lend you another month $200. I gave him something.
Kind of a benefit. What about when there's inflation? And you say,
Or more than a month. I'll give you something. I'll give you the same amount. I'll give you 100 back, but I'll give it to you for 60 days. Or I'll give you $200 for 1 month. Same amount of time, more money, or more time, and less the same amount of money.
what about about inflation? Get to that way. Neil,
Value low.
I have a story. I have this guy in Borough Park. He told me many years ago he borrowed from his nephew pure gold bars, and he was going to make jewelry with it. And he made jewelry, but he didn't make money. He lost money, and he wasn't doing well. And for many years, Parnassa wasn't good. And now, his mother was Nifter Leilenu.
Wants to pay back.
And there's a Yerusha. Sold the house in Borough Park, a house with money. Now the children are dividing up. So the violent no machlokes. But the nephew says to his uncle, and that you're getting now.
What's the deal?
You're getting some money now. And God, this nephew, his father is the one that's actually the one involved with the sale of the house. He's a successful businessman, and he's the one who made the sale and doing it all. And he's going to divide it between the family, the money. Fairly, they're okay with how he's doing it. But the nephew says, you remember that money or the gold. I didn't bother you, but
Now is the time.
now is the time. The gold went up. You know what the difference in the gold price was?
Almost 500%.
$50,000 difference. Yeah. $50,000 difference.
Same weight of gold.
Same way to go, $50,000 difference. 500 times on it?
I don't know how long the length.
No, 33.11.
It's been up. It's going crazy.
10 years ago it was $1,300.
$1,300
10 years ago.
for what? For
Um,
an ounce?
And
What
now
is it now?
$3,300.
Wow.
3 times, close to 3 times.
So this is a nice.
What's all up with it?
So the shaila is about if this is ribbis or not. He pays him back now.
Give him back
The
gold.
extra 50,000.
Pound of
Give him gold. Give him
It's
back
a
gold.
what?
Give him back gold.
Give back gold. Exactly.
you have to
Back
give
bar
back
for
gold, you
bar.
have to give back.
You don't take Shabbos. Is
What's
that
on
okay?
offer?
Could he get back the gold, and now it's worth more the
Of
gold?
course, because he borrowed the gold. It's from the mail.
If you borrow the volume of the gold, you will have the gold.
It's a good shaila. Good shaila. He doesn't want to have to pay back the 50,000. He enjoys being ribbis, right? So, so his nephew's telling him not only that, you don't have to trouble. My father was doing the whole thing. Kol hachatchila, give me the chelik that you owe me from the Yerusha. Chatchila straight to me. Shalom Yisrael. So first they went to one Rav from their community that they are shaykh to in Borough Park. And this Rav told them that it was like a young Rav, and he told them that, yeah, it's not an issue. You can pay back. Well, he asked actually, he started, there's a din of Yeshlei, like if you had gold, the Shas, you took the loan. You had gold also then it's not considered Ribbis later on. So
because he would have paid back with gold, because he had other gold.
it's a caveat that Chachamim put in, that if Yeshlei, So that Rav seems like he understood somehow that he was a businessman. So Mustam Yeshla you had, but he said there wasn't. He didn't have anything.
So that was.
And yeah, the only thing was his wife's jewelry. But his wife's jewelry wasn't pure gold. It's not the same mint. So that it's not considered Yeshla.
So now what? So it's given to school.
That you could say maybe Pitorida Koma Shakani Shakana Baila. So
That's what happens.
So Maisi he went to this Rabbi Vind from Eretz Yisrael. He's like very into Ribbis. A Belza Dayan.
Comes collecting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he has also a website or he has videos on. So he contacted this Rabbi Vind. He has Svarim. I've seen years ago Svarim he has. And he wrote him a tshuva saying that this is a real ribbis. You're not allowed to pay it back.
Only the value of what
What about
Not even the
which was like
original
$16,000 something.
What's that? Even the original?
No, the original value you have to pay back. You have a chayiv to pay back. $16,000.
But again, trade the pound
I
of gold.
think is a problem also. I don't remember. So and then he went to some other Rabbanim, and then he went back to this Rav now, and this Rav was re-looking into it, and the kids said, he went to one Rav, he went to another Rav, he wants to get, like, he has a lot of Rabbanim that, but on the other hand, it's a sensitive thing, he doesn't want to make machlekes in the family, so it's like this one says, I had the first Rav, he said this, and that's our Rav, and finished. So, so no, he went back to the original Rav, and he told him about all his research. But he told him, like, whatever you'll say, I'll, Lamais accept, but I just want to explain to you, I did not have any gold, B'Shanatz, I took it, so I'll make it clear. And I told you also that I went to other Rabbanim, he didn't want to see what they wrote, he didn't want to look, but he told them over what he had also spoken to one of those. They came up to him with the showroom. One Rav gave a eitzah to him. The problem over here is, even if you want in Indian, even if you wanted to meichel it, you can't be meichel. It's ribbis.
But the half doesn't have to. They could take it away from somebody.
Someone gave one of the Rabbanim gave him eight. So he said it's ribbis. He said, but if you wanna, you wanna somehow work it out, Shalom, you can pay back just the amount that the original meant, the value. Now the rest of the money, have him lend you money now, with a tremendous amount of ribbis on it. Make you a heta iska, lend you money now, and on it put a lot of it, and then pay back. You'll give the money via another loan, interest on another loan, with a heta iska. This is what his chap was.
Wait, but isn't that
If you wanna,
we go doing one loan and then the next loan I'll do.
So that one will do a heta iska.
So what happens?
He'll do it in a legitimate way. It's ribbis, but you do it in a way that illegal.
Final score. What happened? Still in the middle.
Still in the middle.
Wait, why?
But any day we'll hear
You said the first
final verdict. I hope they're still going to be talking to each other. I cautioned them a few times. You have to be very careful. The whole family is going to split apart over this $50,000.
You have to let us know what
first
happened.
young girl did not want us, was not presented with what the other Rabbanim said. Why not?
It seems like maybe he was very quick and he rushed the judgment, and he mentioned like a certain shubha, the Shevet HaLevi Rav Wosner, but it seems like Rav Wosner's shita, this issue is considered more like a das yachid, and also Rav Wosner is talking about dollars and not talking about gold, and it's different. So the other Rabbanim felt differently. When he came back, the other Rav heard him out and said he's gonna think about it.
Why didn't he present the original one? The original one didn't want to see what the others wrote, or he didn't want.
He said that he had a paper in his pocket to show him the psak, and he wasn't like, but he read it to him. But I guess it was a little difficult for him to see because he was basically challenging his psak, so it was a little. But he didn't come down yet. He said he's going to think about it, and he hears what he's saying. And he hears all the points, and he's gonna. Let's just finish up this. We have to go to Ma'ir. We have a minyan about side.
If you go on, come on.
We have to go. Okay, so let me get. Let's keep the papers, and Mitchell will continue next week.
is what they do that. You follow that? Was that here? People who
I want to tell you the Chassidish pshat that the Rebbe said for this din, that once the Ribbis, you were moichel the Ribbis. The Ribbis went over. Why is there no inyan, few lots of Ladei Shemayim, to give back the Ribbis? So the Rebbe said as better like this, that
very good question. I mean, a good time. Yeah, I'm wondering.
said like this. Lamaisa, the fact that that money really Ribbis makes sense logically. Logically, it makes sense that you should be able to get money for your money. You haven't been able to use your money. You should be able to get money for it. This is a chiddush haTorah, but the Torah says it's usher. All the guys do it. This is not something no one ever thought this is immoral. This is 100% morally.
Mitzvah to do by the.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a mitzvah to do it by a guy, by a oived chav mazalis. There's no problem with this at all. So therefore, since this is the case, logically speaking, the etzem, it's your money. It's the lender's money. The Torah said you're not allowed to take the money. Well, the Maisa, this shows that his neshama has a shaykis to this money, has some tzaitzis in this money that he has to mevar. It has to be, everyone has in the world, they have their possessions, their money. It's all things that the Yid has in life that he has to do something with it, to connect with it.
Right. If you learn that.
Koydem l'maisa, we say, let's say someone ate something usser. You're not allowed to eat something else. Once you ate it, shuvah, and you could uplift what you did. But if you didn't do it, for example, when you do shuvah, you could do something, you could be maila and avera. A tzaddik can't be maila and avera because he never did an avera. And you're not allowed to do an avera. It's also to an avera. But al tivienu, then the same we mamish ask Hashem, don't. But l'maisa, when the person did an avera, he was a rasha, he did an avera, and now he's about shuvah. The Shas is about tshuva. He was able now to change that episode and turn it into something to bring him to a higher madrega. He's able to use it out. So there's a similar idea when it comes to the Ribbis. The Chatchila, you were not allowed to take that money. But the Maisa, you took the money. Now that you took the money, the Etzim, the money really, logically, you had a connection with the money. It means that the Etzim, your neshama had a connection for the money. Therefore, there's an inyan to be mevater on the money. And whatever we could do, call tatztiki to keep the money over there, because this is a hira, since this happened and this occurred and the money went this way, and it's not genevin gzela, which is not really yours. But etzim, it is your money. And it does make sense it should be your money. It's not pshat, it's not your money. If etzim api seichel b'dinei mamanis, it should be your money. There was a mechila here. Alamai, the Torah answered it. So once it happened, the hira over here is that once it happened already, it's a hira that you have a shaykhis to that money. And therefore, whatever we could do to arrange and work it out, that money should stay by the malva, the Torah says, keep that money by the malva, because zetzachos min hashamayim, that this money belongs to be by the malva for his birurim. He has to do something with that money. He has to give stuff, whatever he needs to do in life, that's his shlichus, that money. It's his chaylik and Elam Hazah. And therefore, we once it happened already, we don't even say there's an inyan losses a day Shemayim. Shemayim says the money should stay by him. So stuck in inyan to give it back. He's stuck in inyan to give the money back because that was the hira. Okay, shukayach everyone for joining. It's very
Thank you. Sorry to make that.
Yeah, we'll see you easy fast.
That was easy
You don't
fast.
have to fast.